My Prof, you are most welcome to our studio.
Thank you, sir.
Pleasure having you here.
Thank you very much.
And thank you so much for the honor.
Thank you.
You are most welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, Prof,
Yes.
once again, I welcome you to our studio.
Thank you.
I know you have seen it all, and I don't have the capacity to introduce you. I only said the little that I know. So you'll be doing us a great service, doing the introduction for yourself as briefly as possible.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here at Duke TV in the heart of Lagos, the center of excellence. And I am so proud of my classmate, Duke Bode Gabardine, for this edifice that will continue to inspire all that are interested in the media communication profession. My name is Hakeem Tijani. I am a Lagosian, first and foremost. I'm a product, like Mr. Gabardine, of Lagos State University. I'm currently a professor of history, as well as the Executive Director of the Office of Global Partnerships, Africa, at the National Treasure of the State of Maryland, that is Morgan State University, the only state university designated as such. It's a pleasure being here. I've been in the academia in the last 36 years. October 10, it will be exactly 36 years. And it's a pleasure being here, and I look forward to this conversation. And thank you for having me.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. So, Prof, having you here will not be for nothing. We will take advantage to ask you, as a start-off, can you do for us an overview of the educational system of Nigeria from your wealth of experience and what you know?
Okay.
An overview of the educational system of Nigeria.
Thank you very much. I think by His grace, with experience, I can tell you that the educational system globally is challenged. So there is no perfect educational sector. I'm saying that up front so that our people in Nigeria will not say, oh, we have to jackpot, we were not properly trained and what have you, because it's one thing to be trained, given the content. As I always say, knowing is different from understanding. So when you are taught, when you are asked to read, you must also retool yourself. Okay. And I think one of the best that has ever happened to Nigeria that we have not taken full advantage of began some few months, some few years ago, okay, in the realm of introduction of entrepreneurship, introduction of skills development, so that if you are history graduate, or you're reading history, you're reading chemistry, you're reading engineering, any aspect of engineering,
computer,
you are also developing or getting certified with a skill that is usable for self, and then usable for the community, usable for the development of Nigeria. And I think that is an area that the government has continued to improve. I'll give you two recent ones. The engagement with entrepreneurship, not only as a degree, but also as an important curriculum, part of what everybody, irrespective, every student at the tertiary institution, and it's no longer limited to polytechnics, it's no longer limited to College of Education. The universities now has centers of entrepreneurship, in addition to degrees in pursuit in entrepreneurship. But what has been so unique with the current administration that people are yet to really internalize is the fact that the Nigerian Youth Academy, for the first time we have a vibrant Ministry of Youth Development, and then an agency within that youth development is the Nigerian Youth Academy, where knowledge and understanding are fused together.
Okay.
And what is important is that what we need to do as a, to sustain it, is to integrate this academy that is training youth, that is training not just for degree, but also complementing degrees that they are pursuing. Okay, so the youth have opportunity to learn something. They have opportunity to get a startup soft landing, unlike our time, and as such, it is one of the opportunity that I think the youth of Nigeria should take advantage of. The parents of youth should take advantage of. The community should take advantage of. In addition to the student loan opportunity that will afford many to study. I know what poverty is. I know how to be poor. I know because I lost my major breadwinner when I was just in primary one. My father, primary one going to two. My father died in 1971, and that was a major situation that, if not for God and for other people taking care and coming to my aid, because they said he was a good man, I wouldn't have been who I am today. Okay? So, but the current generation, they have that singular opportunity to harvest what this government is doing in terms of youth transformation and development, because they are the future of Nigeria. We can't talk about transformation of a nation without the youth population. Nigeria is so endowed, but it will take years as we all individually harvest, looking into the imperfect agencies, because they will never be perfect. I'm not a perfect person. The agencies and those people that were put there will not be perfect, so there's no such thing. But if we can do Q&A, quality assurance, as citizens, they will prosper and they will fulfill the vision. So I'm just bringing out those two things that I think has happened in our lifetime. In my career, that is over 3 decades, that started in Nigeria, blossomed in Nigeria, was effectively harvested in the United States, different parts, including England. Then coming back, and now I do come back. I'm also a visiting professor at the National Open University of Nigeria, where I supervise currently 4 doctoral students in peace studies and conflict resolution. So we must be practical about what we do. The last thing I want to say before I take up the next round of questions is the fact that we must, as a government, as people, as teachers, okay, as an institution, begin to retool what we teach, both formal and informal education. You see, the pedagogy of the art and science of teaching is what we call pedagogy. And our pedagogy is not just for you to go to the classroom and dictate notes to students. Engage them. Embrace inclusive pedagogy, whereby you ask questions. You allow them time to think about it. You form group, seminars. In our days at LASU, as pioneer students, at LASU, we did that. We were grouped into maybe about 4, 5, 6, and then they give us a particular question, assignment. We do it together. That is inclusivity.
And there was no even access
to
internet. We go to library,
no access to computers. No,
not even
No, we have to go into the library and then pick up the books and read and then come back. And we're not doing debate that you win or I lose. No, we're just engaging one another, and that created a bond. That created initiative. That also bring out the best in us. And today we can speak to that. So For me, at the national level, I think that is something that the Nigerian population is yet to see in this current government, and I think we will be good for it.
Oh, I seriously hope so, and I believe so anyway. Yeah. Okay, because I was even going to ask how we can tailor our academic curricula to suit our employment needs, creativity, and all that. But it's like you have preempted me. You have already spoken about that. So I will just skip that.
I'm a teacher.
No, it makes it easy for me. I appreciate that. But I want to, as a follow-up question, I'm looking at your global exposure as a scholar of international repute. What are the one or two things that that you have gained by virtue of exposure that you may want to recommend that Nigeria too can borrow and infuse into our academic program that will make it better?
Thank you very much. I think Nigeria needs what I call human capacity reorientation and reformation. What do I need? We do not have the resources, and there's no nation that has the resources to satisfy. Even folks from China go to US to study. Students from US goes to China, Germany, they all study. That makes us a global citizen. You're molding that citizen that will take over from your current leaders and then continue the developmental effort. So I think one of the things that we probably want to lay more emphasis on and be practical about it is partnerships at the level of government. Okay, signing an agreement, because the education sector will determine what we do. If we fail, God forbid, in that sector, it will affect all that we do. So one, from experience, I think partnerships at what we call sister-state relationship, sister to sister, meaning even a state in Nigeria. Recently, not too long ago, the governor of Plateau State visited Morgan State University, and the Nigerian embassy contacted us. They contacted my office as the executive director of Global Partnerships Africa, and they said they wanted to come. So the governor, we received them. We were talking about education. How could we, for instance, the opportunities like virtual learning. We have a vibrant distance learning system in Nigeria. I'm so delighted that the National University Commission approved some more private, even distance learning universities, in addition to the National Open University of Nigeria that has braced the trade, and a lot is going on in that sector that not many people understand what the like of distinguished Professor Kebukola, who was the immediate past Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Governing Council, and the former VC, and the continuation by the current VC, Professor Peters, are doing. Okay. So the point is that we can leverage on that and partner with, either government on the other side, be it in Europe, be it in the United States, be it in Canada. That is one, so that we help to regauge our quest for human capacity development in selected area, in selected field. Okay, we have to be selective. We cannot do everything. It will amount to jack of, or trade but master of none. Okay, and that is what we have done. That is what the vision of that BAT, the TED Fund, Tertiary Education Trust Fund, for instance, and the Morgan State University, in 2020, for a year, I was pursuing that because I was still back in Nigeria. Part of my itinerary and the genesis and my career is to return to Nigeria for 8 years, to serve as pioneer professor, dean, deputy vice chancellor in Oshun. And then I never went back for another year or two. Okay, and I was with Third Form. So I had this vision of what should we do? And I was thinking about this sister-sister relationship, because you have to know the people on the other side for it to be effective. There must be integrity for it to be effective.
Oh, yeah?
There must be passion for it to be effective. All of these are important to result, because we have to be result-oriented. Finding solution. And in my opinion, one of the solutions is to engage in sister-sister relationship, like this partnership. Today we can talk about a partnership that has afforded Nigerians in all disciplines to continue either at the master's level and the doctoral level, PhD, and then become, credentialed, but they also learning. The cultural immersion was important. Certification in digital automation, in fintech, and so many other areas of learning. So it's not that when they return, they are not just teaching the content and calling the student, okay, according to this. No, they are also imparting knowledge, usable knowledge, whereby before you graduate, you are already an entrepreneur. And that is why the Nigerian Youth Academy must work with TED Fund, PTDF, NUC, and see how they will, engage the institutions and the lecturers in terms of creating informal that will lead to certification. Because we have the population, we are blessed with youth in Nigeria. Okay? Young population. And we have to reorientate ourselves. We have to get people that are passionate, and then we have to have people to have a change of their psyche. What do I mean? That when you have that opportunity to serve, you must see it as a service. You must see it as you adding value. You must see it as being passionate and leaving a legacy that you can go to bed and sleep. Here I am. Oh Lord, here I am. I'm ready to go if you take me today, because I've made impact in my community. I've made impact to my state, to my nation, and the global community will be satisfied.
Fantastic. Okay, Prof, before I leave this topic and move to another one, I'm looking at the status of scholarship in Nigeria vis-a-vis students, or do I call them students or candidates that are very outstanding in terms of intelligence, very, very outstanding, provably so, but are very, very economically disadvantaged. How do we tailor our scholarship in a way that we target specifically? Because you know what I found out? Collecting scholarship in Nigeria now, you still end up knowing a big man. You still end up having an influential father to push it through for you. How do we do it in a way that it goes directly to the disadvantaged and at a record time that will not make the ambition suffer unnecessarily?
Where there are two areas that or two steps that one can discuss that question or your comment. And the first one is to look at, are we talking about students that are seeking admission into the tertiary institutions? That is one aspect. The second aspect is, are we talking about those that have gained admission already? And I think you are referencing those that are already
in admission.
They have admission into College of Education, admission into the Polytechnic, admission into the university. So let's take the latter, which is you already admitted. I think one thing that some, if not all, institutions of learning, tertiary institutions in this case, have done is to readmit through appointment, through employment, the best students. Okay? I am a beneficiary of such like this. I happen to be, without sounding, whatever, I'm being modest. I remember Professor Folabi Olumide, the first Vice Chancellor of
Lagos University.
Lagos State University. And both of us were pioneer students, He promised us, he told us, he admonished us, he renewed our hope. He also gave us that future that if you come best in your discipline, we will re-engage you. We will offer letter of appointment with your bachelor's after NYSC if you are not above 30.
As a graduate assistant.
As a graduate assistant. And that is how I started my career in 1989 at LASU. Then, October 10, 1989. And I know of other universities that does that. When I was the Deputy Vice Chancellor at Adeleke University, the chairman, the founder of the institution, Dr. Deji Adeleke, also did that. In fact, before that, for the students, and it continues up to today, he has a foundation that is sponsoring students, full scholarship for some, indigent students. So that's an encouragement. If you move to the north, there's an example, okay? We have Professor Adamu Gwazo, the founder of 4 universities.
In Nigeria?
Yes, in Nigeria.
Wow.
The founder of 4 universities, private, and is investing. Miriam Abacha American University of Nigeria is owned. He founded it. Miriam Abacha American University in the Republic of Niger. The Franco-British University.
Sorry, why that name? Why the Abacha name?
I'll get to that if I can.
All right,
I may not be in a position to explain, but I'll get to that from what my experience was. And then the last one is the Canadian University. This is a gentleman, a philanthropist that studied in France. He's a professor of, language, French in particular, that speak Arabic, French, English. But I also came back and invest. And when I was at the Miriam Abacha American University of Nigeria in Kano as the lead on NUC accreditation for peace studies and conflict resolution, because every third year, the NUC, as part of the Q&A, they will send professors. So I was given that opportunity to lead the team. And I couldn't believe what I saw. And then because you have to interview students without anybody interfering. And I realized that he was also sponsoring a lot of, because the North is so devastated, if that is the right word, or if not, limited in terms of human capacity development. But to add on to what government is doing, we can pick all these individuals. Okay, just like they will say Dangote is doing this. I was watching a documentary in my hotel room, and not many people knew what he was doing in education, in community development. So since we are focusing on education now, all of these individuals are people that even the government can partner with and put them in the room. Even the NUC, the TED Fund, the PTDF, all these government agencies at the federal level, even at the state level, can partner with and see how they can continue to give and to impact the community, because their influence, their contribution rather, in human capacity development is something that we have not, as a nation, fully harvested. So the Nigerian Youth Academy, for instance, could take advantage of that. Because, look, The government cannot do everything for us. The government cannot provide everything. So the mentality of, oh, whether it is this government, it is the previous government, it is the incoming government, must provide everything. No. What they can do is to give us that platform. And then we pray for them to be able to give the platform, so we leverage on it